All right, so you're trying to do money magic, right? You know, maybe you just woke up, or you know, you've been in this for a while and your money magic's not working, or it's not successful, or you just want to learn, you know, how to get some money as an entrepreneur. Us entrepreneurs, like, you know, shit gets slow sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So you be needing a little extra kick, you know what I mean, to keep things going. So this is my breakdown for the occultist, the entrepreneur occultist, and how to create successful money magic for yourself, okay? All right, let's get right into it. True magic is co-creation with the universe. True magic is co-creation with the universe. When you're on board with your life purpose, that's when you can experience the wonders of magic, okay? So when you're on board with, when you're in line with what you're supposed to be doing here, when you know your life purpose and you understand your spiritual mission, that's when your magic will really begin to work with you. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us, when we wake up, right, we tend to just jump to things outside of ourselves. And, you know, this is necessary because you have to learn. You know what I'm saying? But magic is about cultivation of the self. You know what I'm saying? True magic is about cultivation of the self and co-creating with the universe, right? So when you're doing something that's out of line with your life purpose or out of line with your spiritual mission, it might not work, or it might work, but it might work in order to teach you a lesson about that experience. You understand what I'm saying? So again, if you're doing magic that is not in line with your life purpose or your spiritual mission, it might not work, or it might work, but that was in order to teach you a lesson. You understand? Okay, so I'm noticing that a lot of people, when I used to be on Facebook like a few years back, and you know, I was looking for other like-minded people, and I found all these occult magic groups on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And I realized that there was a lot of people like just waking up and like just learning, and wasn't really as like deep in as I was. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of psychic vampires out there, yo. There's a lot of vampires out there, B. I was so surprised when I started finding these vampires on Facebook. I mean, like real vampires and energy vampires. One girl was on Facebook telling a story about how she was on a gym running on the, whatever that thing is, you know, she's running on that jogging machine or whatever. And some dude comes up next to her and goes on the machine next to her and starts doing his jogging thing or whatever. And she's like, she was like, you know, she was like, oh yeah, she was like, thank you, you know what I'm saying? She was on a thing like, oh, this dude came and started trying to do his exercise right next to me, and said she was sucking his energy as, you know what I'm saying, he's on the machine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, son, you really gotta watch out for niggas like this, B. You know what I'm saying? That will try to take your energy, you know, without you having no type of clue and shit. Word. So I was happy to have found out about that shit in the Facebook groups. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, as the same thing I did, was when I started becoming conscious and wanting to study magic, is that I went right to voodoo, you know, in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all you know from the movies growing up or whatever. That's all you know. You know what I'm saying? So I found, like, you know, books in the library. I think I found books in the library on magic. And, you know, I was studying a lot of voodoo and, you know, Caribbean magic and whatnot. Because my family is from Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So I figured that was the best place for me to go. That was the best system for me to start learning. And I learned a lot there, and I developed a relationship with Oshun and Chengo. You know what I'm saying? I learned all about the Orishas, Obatala, Ogun, Yemenya. You know what I'm saying? There's a few more. You know what I mean? And all that is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The vampire shit, the Orishas, Ifa, all that is beautiful. But when you jump into that right away, like you wake up, you become more conscious, more spiritually conscious, and you kind of like jump into the, you know what I'm saying, a system right away. It could kind of take you off course from figuring out what you are here to do. You know, what you're here to do, and what you've came to Earth. Like, what's your life purpose? What's your spiritual mission? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like when you wake up, right? Like, say you've been in Christianity or Islam or something like that for half your life, and then you start becoming more conscious. As an American, to me, like, you know, if your family wasn't into these spiritual systems, you know, like voodoo and Ifa and stuff like that, to me, it doesn't really make sense to just, you know, jump into that, just from my experience, because that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, my family's from Jamaica, so I'm like, yo, you know, I gotta get into like voodoo or some shit like that, some Caribbean type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But like with like voodoo, like, so Jamaican has its own voodoo. I think it's called Obey or something like that. So just like Christianity, like there's mad different types of Christianity. Like you got evangelic and Seventh-day Adventist and you know, all these different types of Christianity. It's like the same thing in magic. There's all these different systems and types of magic. You know what I'm saying? But they're all good. They're all meaningful. All right. So when you waking up, when you're first waking up, I wouldn't recommend that you just jump into a system. You know what I'm saying? And then just like, yo, I'm into that voodoo shit. I'm the Orishas and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn all of that, but try to learn everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not, if your family's not like, you know, if this system or this culture is not like running down in your family line or whatever. Like, for generations, your families have been, you know, practicing this spiritual system, right? Okay, now, because, see now me, right? Now this is when you knowing yourself comes in. So for instance, I use me as an example, right? Now, in past lives, I went to the Akashic Records and I figured out that I was Asian in my past lives. You know what I'm saying? You know, Chinese, Mongolian, Hindu. I know of 3. You know what I'm saying? So you build up, in your past lives, you build up a relationship with the deities of your past lives that you may have worshipped or that you worked with in your past lives, right? So, for instance, for me, in all my past lives, I was Asian. So I have a relationship with Asian deities already. You understand what I'm saying? Hanuman, Kali, you know what I mean? Ganesh, you know what I'm saying? Sun Wukong, Tengri, you know what I mean? Kuan Yin, you know what I'm saying? Magoo. Like, so I've already built up these relationships in past lives with these deities. So in this life, I could kind of tap into them, and I already have a built up relationship with them. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be easier for me to work with those deities because I already built up this relationship with them in past lives, versus me going to the Orishas, and it's like I have to develop a new relationship with them and learn about them, which is good. It's a good thing. But if you want, you know, good money results, you know, you want to do good money magic. We're talking about money magic here. I think it makes a little bit more sense, right, to try to go with the deities that you've already built up a relationship with. You understand? Because they're gonna like they'll know your soul better. They know you better. You understand what I'm saying? If you could think about it in those terms, right? So versus you know, going to the Orishas, and this is what I did this, you know, and the Orishas treated me good. I dealt with Oshun and Chango, you know what I'm saying? And they treated me well, you know what I mean? They treated me well. But I think I got more understanding and more of a knowledge of self from working with the deities that I've already built up a relationship with. All right. So right now we're talking about gods and deities. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you want to do some money magic, and you're like, okay, well, which god and which deity should I go to? You know what I'm saying? So you having a knowledge of self, understanding yourself, right, can help you figure out which deities to work with, rather versus you not having any knowledge of yourself, right, and just jumping, you know what I'm saying, with the Orishas or with the deity that you feel aligned with. Now, it's okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You probably might get some, you know what I'm saying, results doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to know what deities that you worked with in past lives. There's a little bit more power in that, if you will. Okay. Now, some of the oldest deities think of wealth differently. You know what I'm saying? Some of the older deities think of wealth differently, right? So, for instance, I'm dealing with Sekhmet. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I might ask, I might ask Sekhmet for some money or something like that. And she'll lead me to money, but it might be in a different way. So I'll give you an example, with my friend. He likes to play CeeLo a lot or whatever. So, you know, we experimenting, you know, with certain things and making money or whatever. But he likes to gamble. He likes to play CeeLo. So one day he's gambling. He's like, Sekhmet. And he's like screaming out Sekhmet and Ramakrishna and shit as he's gambling. And later, you know, I pulled him to the side and I told him, like, you know, Sekhmet, she probably doesn't even know what CeeLo is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a money. I'm gonna get into that too. You need to create your own magical deity for that. And I'm like, you know, she's gonna see money as like rubies, like real money, like crystals, diamonds, gold. You know what I'm saying? Rubies, food. You know what I'm saying? Shelter, like clothes. Like, you gotta understand the currency of a dollar, the American dollar. You know what I'm saying? Is not real. You understand? It's supposed to be backed by gold, but you know, it's not. I'm not going to get into all the details of that, but you know, the American dollar is not real. It's just a piece of paper. It really doesn't have the value of a financial, like a dollar, like a value to it. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm trying to say? It's just a piece of paper that's worth a couple of cents. You understand what I'm saying? So $100 bill is not really worth $100. So I'm like, you know, yeah, so I'm telling him that, you know what I'm saying, Sekhmet is not, you know, and Ramakrishna is not like the best people to call on. Like, Ramakrishna wasn't a get money kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He was about attaining a spiritual enlightenment. So I'm like, you know, that's not really the energies that you want to call on while you're playing CeeLo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, Sekhmet, there's abundance and wealth all around you. Like, I go outside and I see abundance and wealth like everywhere. Like these old TVs, these TVs that come out the plasma, the flat screens or whatever. They cost so much money because they got gold in them. You know what I'm saying? The old TVs from back in the day got a lot of copper in them. You know what I'm saying? So how many people you see throwing out these TVs? You see TVs sitting in the curb. Like, I'll do some shit for Sekhmet, and she'll lead me to like these TVs or something. You know what I mean? But there's dudes that take all the gold out of the TVs and melt it down and have like nuggets of gold. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the space. Like, I know I have the knowledge about it or whatever, but let me have a garage and, you know, access to these chemicals or whatever, and I can open up these TVs and know how to break the gold down in the TV and put it into one nugget. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I would be doing that shit, but I'm in an apartment. You're like, I don't have no space for gases to be flying all around here, so I can't really, you know what I'm saying? You use the money, you know, convert it into the money that way or whatever. It doesn't work. That doesn't work best for me. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I know about it. There's, like I'm saying, that there's wealth all around us. Like, there's infinite wealth all around you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Okay, yeah. So when people say that you know, they're a daughter of Oshun, or they're a daughter of Obatala. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that get into voodoo, or people that get into the Santeria, the Orishas and whatnot, a lot of them will say, you know, they're a daughter of Oshun, or they're the son of Ogun. And when these deities come to you, and, you know, you get that feeling that you're your daughter, their son, or you have a relationship with them, is because in past lives, or because your family bloodline or your family members have dealt with these deities. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why they're coming to you, because they already have a relationship with you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't really like to think of it like you're the daughter. So that's why they, you know, it might come off as like you're their daughter or you're their son or whatever. But really, what it really is that they already have a relationship with you, and you have power and going to them. You know what I'm saying? So it would make more sense for you to deal with a deity from Santeria or Ifa or Voodoo or whatever, because, yeah, you already have that relationship. Now, if you just go try to work with Sekhmet or Sun Wukong or Kali, you have to study. You gotta learn more. It's gonna take more effort for you to build a relationship with them. Okay. Now, all right. So we're gonna go from there. So we talked about gods and deities. We're going to talk about how-tos as well, but we talked about gods and deities, right? So now we're going to talk about the ancestors, okay? Don't skip over the ancestors. Like, don't, you know, I wouldn't, you could do anything that you want to do, but there's a certain step-by-step processes to these things, and that I've learned, and that's what I'm trying to help you with. But you can do whatever you want to do, all right? But I think it's better to do it like this. This is the guide to, this is the entrepreneur's guide to successful money magic, okay? Don't go to the deities without going to your ancestors first. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to skip over your ancestors. Like, so everybody's born with spiritual guides, whatever you want to call it, ancestors, angels. You understand? Everybody's born with this. All right. Some people are born with, like, not everybody's born with ancestors or spirit guides that are all positive and like beautiful and you know, like some people are born with you know, ancestors or spirit guides that we might call negative or on some lower vibrational type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So we all have our own purpose to serve. We all have our own purpose to serve on this planet. Not everyone comes here with the same type of ancestors. Not everybody comes here with angelic spirit guides. Like, some people are here to do some dirt. You know what I mean? Some people are here to do some dirt. Okay. So you want to build a relationship with your ancestors. For me, like, I had to know exactly who they were. Like, I couldn't take just saying ancestors and whatnot. Like, I wanted to know names. I wanted to know exactly who they were. And you know, finding that information led me to a lot of self-discovery about myself too. You know what I'm saying? So your ancestors are the link to the deities. Your ancestors are the link to the deities. They can call that deity to you, you know, especially if you have, you know, the relationship. One of the best forms of money magic and dealing with your ancestors is to give your ancestors offerings. Your ancestors have been here, done that before. Not like a deity. They may have, some deities haven't incarnated in a physical body on earth per se. But your ancestors, they've been here, done this before. So they kind of understand, you know, the workings of money, your everyday life, and, you know, bills and shit like that. They understand that a little bit more than deities. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to deal with ancestor money. So here I got some. I usually get the Asian. I usually get the Asian forms of the Asian held banknotes, but I want to experiment with this. This is the money that I kind of need. So this is something new that I just got. Let me open this for you. I'm gonna show you how to activate it. All right. So you need to create like a sigil. Like, you need to create a sigil. All right, so you have this here. This is just paper. You know what I'm saying? You gotta activate this. You know what I'm saying? So me, right? I got a magical deity that I created named Money Mike or whatever. So once I put Money Mike's sigil on the dollar bill, now it's activated. All right, and if you can see it there. All right. So once I put Money Mike's sigil on the ancestor money, now it's activated. And you're just gonna burn it. You know what I'm saying? Once I put this sigil on the ancestor money, now it's activated. All right. Don't just get the ancestor money and then just burn it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Activate it. Put your magical symbols on it, whatever you want to put on it. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of intent and energy in the symbol, so I could just write it on there, and like that energy and intent is in the ancestor money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just burn it, and you want to give it, to your ancestors. If you know them, you know what I'm saying? Say their names. If you want to give it, send it to specific people. Say their names. You could send this to deities as well. You know what I'm saying? You can send this to deities as well. You know what I'm saying? So get with ancestor money. If it's a very good form of money magic. Very good form of money magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You ever been broken, hungry, and like tired, like a day, like after work, like, you know what I'm saying? After work, like you might be dumb tired and hungry, and then like you get your paycheck. And then all of a sudden, like, you got mad energy, like, you got all this energy, like, you're ready to go to the club and all of that. Like, before you were, like, real tired and you were just ready to call it a wrap. And then, like, you get paid and then you just got mad energy. Like, your hunger goes away. You got, you walk, you operating on fumes, but it's like, you don't even care. That's what ancestor money kind of does. Like that feeling that you had, when you put the money in your pocket and you had mad energy to like move around, like you kind of feel like, you have that same energy. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's hard to describe. I don't really know the science behind this, but this is a mystery, but it works. So you can see the back of it here. It has some Asian words on it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. All right. So. And so you also want to give your ancestors offerings. They like the same things that you like. They like the same things that you like. When you cook for them, I think it holds a little bit more power. You know what I'm saying? When you cook a meal for your ancestors, like intent goes into cooking. Like, you got to put thought into cooking. When you make a meal for your kids, it's because you really love them. You know what I'm saying? And then you want them to eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to put too much salt in the food. You might not put too much sugar. You understand what I'm saying? So cooking for them, I think, holds a little bit more power than just giving them like, a regular offering. It's like, because you put a thought and intent into cooking. So like when you cook a meal, just set a plate for the side for them. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to give them an offering. Like if you're short on cash, you don't have ancestor money, you don't have liquor, you got to make some food. Try to make a little plate and then put it to the side for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So ancestor money. You can also give them like cigarettes and cigars, especially the stuff that you like. Like if you like cigarettes, like give them cigarettes, because that stuff is probably in your DNA. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is in your DNA. Like your DNA holds the memory of everything that your ancestors did, or things that you did in past lives. So, you know what I'm saying? You could give them cigars, cigarettes. I think the best cigars is White Owls. You know what I'm saying? White Owls, I think, is the best cigars in money magic. So hook your ancestors up, man. Hook your ancestors up. Another good form of money magic is to program the subconscious mind. I'm all into that right now. This is like kind of my thing I'm on right now, is programming my subconscious mind. There's a few simple ways that you could do it through the use of sigils, creating your own magical deities with the use of sigils, And by doing, there's one simple form, writing things, you can see that, I'll show it to you again, writing things like 100 times over and over again. So how I figured that out, right? I'm gonna tell you my stepmother from hell story. I had like the worst stepmother ever. I had like a real evil stepmother, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? She would try to get me in trouble like every other day, son. And I was like an angel, man. So she had to like lie and, you know what I'm saying? And be mad manipulative in order to get me in trouble. Like, I guess she didn't like me or whatever. She had a son too. So I guess like, you know, I feel like in her eyes better than her son. I don't know. So she used to always get me in trouble though, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things that she used to make me do was write shit like, I will not lie. I will, you know, like 100 times. Like to this day, like I'm a very moral person. Like I live by like high moral standards. Like it's mad hard for me to do crime, like lie, cheat, and steal and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can do it. Like I've learned how to do those things, you know, that are like as necessities for survival. But for others, it comes like a lot more easily and more natural. Like for me, it's kind of hard. But she instilled these morals in me, like by programming my subconscious mind. And like, you know, I thought back to it, and I'm like, damn, yo, like she really put this shit in my head. So she would make me write like, I will not lie, like 200 times. You know what I'm saying? And I had to do this shit like every other day. You know what I'm saying? I will not cheat. I will not steal. You know what I'm saying? So my penmanship started getting crazy. Like you can see. So this right here says, I attract infinite abundance each minute of the day or something like that. Yeah, every minute of the day. You know what I'm saying? And this is like an easy way for you to program your subconscious mind. You know, they did it to you back in school. Remember Bart Simpson had to write on the board, like, I will not, you know, punch the teacher or kick the teacher in the, you know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like that. They were trying to program your subconscious mind so you wouldn't do this shit just because the shit is in the back of your mind. You know, the next time that shit come up, you're going to be like, nah, I'm a chill. You know what I'm saying? It's because you've been programmed. You understand what I'm saying? So you can program yourself. You understand? You can program your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind dictates what happens in your reality. You understand what I'm saying? So you can program it yourself. And yeah, you can also like, so you could do something like this. Now, so I'm doing an experiment with this, with gambling. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to write, I win every scratch off that I play. You know what I'm saying? Like 100, 200 times. And like you could take a bay leaf. You could burn a bay leaf while you're writing it, or you could just attach it to the paper and just put it up somewhere, and it'll give it like a little kick. The bay leaf. You know what I'm saying? Bay leaves are really good for money magic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the simplest way for you to. You want to talk in the present tense, not like I want to be rich or something like that. You have to think of like you're already rich. So you would write I am rich. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 times, 100 times, 200 times, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel like. But you understand what I'm saying? So that's one way. You can also create sigils. I told you my Money Mike. I showed you my Money Mike sigil. You could create a magical deity and then use its sigil. So I created a magical deity named Money Mike. All right, Money Mike is a combination of the comedian that was in Friday. Damn, I can't remember this nigga's name. The little short, light-skinned guy, Cat Williams. Cat Williams, he was the pimp or whatever in Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like this nigga's style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had his store or whatever. He had money. He had his little shorty. You know what I'm saying? He was fly. Like, I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I took the character from Roots, Chicken George, right? The new Roots, Chicken George. He was mad charismatic. And Chicken George had got his freedom. He was a slave or whatever in the movie Roots. But he got his freedom from fighting chickens. And eventually he got enough money from fighting the chickens. He would get paid to train the chickens. Yeah, he would get paid to train the chickens to fight. And you know what I'm saying? He started winning mad fights. and he was able to buy his freedom with the money that he made from chicken fighting. So I kind of combined them two characters to create my own character, Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? And like Money Mike, I visualize he's all gold. He's all gold. He looks like he has that charismatic personality of Chicken George and Cat Williams and Friday, and he's all gold. You know what I'm saying? And like my thing is him, like he does all the new dances that are out, like, you know what I'm saying? I was about to say the name. But he does all the new dances, like every dance that ever came out, like he could do or whatever. So like if I could just watch him dancing, you know what I'm saying, and that would like bring like money in my pockets, boy. Or like people that owe me money, like my customers that might owe me money, I'll send him to them and like have him whisper in their ear that you gotta pay them. You gotta pay, you know what I'm saying, Sports Magic. You gotta pay him, you know, you owe him. Or sometimes I might picture him like going inside the house and like just tearing their whole house apart, like, yo, if I'm frustrated or mad or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I use him in different ways. Or if I need new customers, I might have him go out and get me new customers. If I need online sales, you know what I'm saying? He's a entity that deals with the air. You know what I'm saying? So he's very good for like online sales and stuff like that. Like I'll point to my packages like, yo, Money Mike, I need to sell this on eBay, this, and this, and it'll get sold. You know what I'm saying? Word. Money Mike. And then dealing with currency, dealing with cash in general. Cash has the energy of water. Money, dollar bills has the energy of water. That's why they have like the bank, cash flow, like even the words dealing with money, liquidation, you know what I'm saying, is dealing with water. You know what I'm saying? Internet, when you're dealing with internet and internet sales, you're dealing with the air, like Wi-Fi signals going through the air. So Money Mike is like dealing with the air, you know what I'm saying? So he's very good for those type of situations. And when you're dealing with cash, you want to kind of deal with water, you know what I'm saying? Water is also good to give to your ancestors too. Speak into the water, like the things that you want, and leave the water at your altar, you know what I'm saying? That's also good to give to your ancestors. Yeah, fuck it. I'll tell you how, yo. I'll tell you how I created Money Mike. Because I did some... Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about after that. The lower vibrational and the high vibrational stuff. All right, so I did some weird shit with Money Mike. Like, I created the sigil. I created his mythology. I told you his mythology with Cat Williams and Chicken George, and I put those together or whatever, and I made this character Money Mike, and I made his mythology, right? I made his sigil, you know what I'm saying? I took a sentence and broke it down into a couple of letters and made a sigil. Alright? Now this is the nasty shit that I did, right? I masturbated onto the sigil and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if you about this life, nigga, you be willing to do some crazy shit, B, if you about this life. So I busted a nut on my semen or whatever. I got my blood on the sigil and put my intent all in the sigil, and I gave birth to this nigga, you know what I'm saying? I created this nigga, right? So that was how I created him, you know what I'm saying? And I think I thought of the nastiest chick I ever been with too. My ancestors be dying laughing about that shit. But anyway, yeah, I thought of the nastiest chick I ever been with. I busted a nut on the sigil, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I created this nigga. Like, so now from there, we're gonna go into low vibrational, high vibrational magic. So when you first go outside of yourself, right? When you first start doing magic, let's say you want $1 million, you know what I'm saying? And if, let's say it's not in your purpose right there, or it's not the time in your life for you to have $1 million, right? You're gonna probably wind up doing some real low vibrational shit because you haven't tapped into yourself and discovered what your life purpose is, and you're kind of not co-creating with the universe. You're going off what your ego wants. Like your ego wants $1 million or whatever. So you might do some low vibrational crazy shit in order to attain that $1 million, like a human sacrifice or a sacrifice of a goat or some shit like that. some real lower vibrational shit, you know what I'm saying, in order to achieve your goal. It's kind of like when you go outside of yourself. And I've done this, like with spells or whatever. Like I've been in situations where I have somebody over me that can give me more work or less work. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really like being in that situation where somebody else is in control of my finances. So I've tried to put a spell like on my boss or people that can give me more work. You understand what I'm saying? Or in a position to, you know, give me more money financially. And it worked. It definitely worked. But there's a positive and negative side to casting spells on people. You know what I'm saying? There's a positive side to it, but there's also a negative side to it as well. And the negative side is seeing all their negative traits, all the negative aspects of their personality. You understand what I'm saying? That you probably wouldn't have to deal with if you didn't put a spell on them. You understand? So I'll give you an example of this. I don't want to tell you how it worked for me because I don't want to put people on blast or whatever, but I'll give you a scenario. You understand? So, right, let's say you start getting into magic. You just start waking up. You start getting into magic and you're like, oh shit, like you're a girl or whatever. And you're like, oh, you know that sugar daddy that I always had? He always give me $20, $40. I don't even got to do nothing. All I got to do is talk to him over the phone or something like that. And he'll give me $40. I wonder if I could do a spell on him to get some more money out of him. You know what I'm saying? So you might come up with some shit, do the spell on him or whatever. Right? And then all of a sudden, he'll come up to you like, yo, I got a car in the driveway right now. He'll send you a picture like, yo, I got a car for you. I got 10 G's for you, you know what I'm saying? But you got to sleep with me, you know what I'm saying? And I give this to you like right now. So, you know, this will turn out to be, if it's not in your alignment with your path, it'll usually turn out to be a lesson for you. So what might happen, like let's say this is an old, nasty, funky smelling dude, you know what I'm saying? His body is all like out of shape or whatever, and you're not attracted to him like whatsoever. He's funky or whatever, but you want that car and the 10 G's or whatever amount of money it is, right? So let's say you might say, you know what, your lesson might be is like, you know what, nah, like I can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got the more money out of him, but like I can't even do that or whatever. But you might do it and shit. You might do it, you know what I'm saying? Have this nasty, disgusting experience with this dude or whatever, right? But now you got the car and the 10 G's or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, right, the magic might be successful, you understand, but you have to do some low vibratory shit to get the things that you want. So now you're in this car and shit, and like every time you're in the car, you gotta think about what you did to this nasty dude or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a negative effect and a positive effect when you cast a spell on a specific person. If you're ready to deal with all this negative, with all the negative traits from this person and negative aspects of their personality, you think you can handle it, then yeah, maybe go ahead and do it. That might be your purpose or in line with your path. But if you can't deal with all their negative aspects of their personality, then I would advise you to try to think it over and think of a more positive way to get the outcome that you want, right? So when you're not into self and you're reaching outside of yourself, the magic tends to be a little bit lower vibrational. You know what I'm saying? Versus you, when you first wake up, right, after years of being asleep, like your aura is usually fucked up. The aura around the body, right, is usually strengthened by your thoughts. So if for mad years you've been taught a lot of bullshit and you have like negative thoughts and negative perspectives of seeing of the world, it's going to affect your aura and your ability to attract in money, you know what I'm saying, and attracting wealth, right? So if you got this dirty, fucked up ass aura, you're not thinking about yourself, right? You're gonna attract that same type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna attract lower vibrational type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? That matches you. So once you get into self and you clean your aura, you're right. You work on self. You're gonna attract higher vibrational shit. You might attract a dope, your husband or some shit, and he'll just be like, "Yo, take the car. Here's the," you know what I'm saying? Versus you being with this nasty fucking dude. You understand what I'm saying? So that's like, that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that once you get into self, once you start mastering self, right, your magic will be more beneficial to you, and it'll be a little bit more high vibrational and successful. All right, so astrology. I got about a minute left, real quick. You want to go to astrology to figure out what's your strengths and weaknesses. All right, you want to go to your astrology report and figure out what's your strengths and weaknesses. Money in your astrology report is in the second house. So figure out what's your positions when you were born, and what planets are in the second house when you were born. And then you want to figure out the transits as the positions of the planets throughout every day. You want to figure out the transits and where the planets are in your transits right now. That deals with your finances. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I come into finances as an older man, you know what I'm saying? And I had to come to terms with that. And it kind of makes sense because the businesses and the brands that I'm establishing, I come into wealth, like being wealthy as an older man. But the businesses and the brands that I'm kind of establishing, that kind of makes sense because it's going to take time. Now, when you're dealing with money magic and you're dealing with magic, there's a time delay in the matrix, you know what I'm saying? So when it happens in your imagination, right, it's instantaneous in the ethers. It exists there. But to bring it into fruition in the physical plane, there is a time delay. You know what I'm saying? There's a time delay. So depending on what you want for $1 million, there might be a time delay with that might take an excess of years. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to get $20 or $40, that might happen in a matter of minutes. You understand what I'm saying? So you also have to keep that in mind, that there's a time delay when you're dealing with magic. Usually it's 3 weeks. Is generally the rule of thumb. 3 weeks for your magic. If it hasn't happened, like whatever the outcome that you wanted, in 3 weeks, you could kind of say it didn't work. But then again, like some shit that you did like 4 or 5 years ago, all of a sudden might happen, and you didn't even forgot about the shit that you did. You know what I'm saying? So there's also a time delay. You know what I'm saying? Time delay. Okay, so in astrology, you want to see what planets are affecting you. You want to see what energies are available to you at that moment in time. You understand? You'll see that certain times during the year are great times for you to do some money magic. They're real beneficial times. There's other times in the year, like during Mercury retrogrades or something like that. You know, people say that it's not a good time for you to do magic and to kind of chill. Well, I did an experiment with that, and what I found was that during the Mercury retrogrades, your magic works, but you got to do this shit backwards. You know what I'm saying? And the Mercury retrograde, I guess Mercury appears as if it's spinning backwards. So you got to do your shit backwards. A great example of this, or where you can get some ideas of how to do some shit backwards, is listening to Nas Rewind on that Stillmatic album. I think he even mentions the Mercury retrograde. But in that rhyme, he says the whole rhyme backwards. You know what I'm saying? And I did a little experiment where I did some type of magic ritual, but I did it from the end to the beginning. It was real small. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like for $20 or some shit like that. That I just went to my altar and just did some real small shit, some shit, but I did it like backwards. And then as soon as I walked out the door, there was like $20 like laying on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So from my experience and the experiments that I did, I like to do experiments with magic. Everything is an experiment. So that's how I'm able to give you this information here, because I didn't did like 1 million experiments. You know what I mean? Did an experiment. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of experiments, right? So during the Mercury retrograde, you want to do things backwards when it comes to magic to have success with money. You know what I'm saying? So astrology is a complex and a lot to talk about. So I'm just going to leave that at there and say, check your astrology report when it comes to money magic, and it'll be beneficial to you. But that's the entrepreneur's guide to money magic. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not a brother polite or some shit, like I'm rolling around in Bentleys and all that shit. But I have a real good direction on where I want to go in life financially. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on point. I'm right on point with what I'm supposed to be doing.